Sandy, welcome to my kitchen, and today we're making a super simple side dish. It is a Brussels sprout slaw. I'm all about easy recipes, especially as the weather's getting a little bit nicer outside, and then I'm all about using different vegetables that I have in my refrigerator. And today we're playing with my favorite now, not as a young kid, but Brussels sprouts. So I don't know if you had the same issue growing up, but as a kid, my mom used to make Brussels sprouts and steam them. Only steamed Brussels sprouts with a side of distilled vinegar, and that's what we used to dunk them in. Oh, I just was not a fan of Brussels sprouts, but now I'm a huge fan. The recipes have changed. The way we use Brussels sprouts has completely evolved, and there's some pretty incredible recipes. Like I just made a Brussels sprout gratin the other day that was phenomenal, and it has the cream and the Parmesan cheese and just little bits there, and it's a great accompaniment. So today, like the Brussels sprout gratin, this is a flavorful recipe, simple ingredients, and easy to make. And it will keep in your fridge for a couple days, so the longer it sits, the more flavors that will evolve from it. First, we're going to make our vinaigrette or our dressing for the coleslaw. I just like to make it ahead. So I'm just putting it into a mason jar here. Again, simple ingredients. I have olive oil here. You can use any oil, canola oil. I've used butternut squash seed oil. I've used avocado oil, etc. And you're only using a tablespoon and a half of oil. You have a tablespoon and a half of granulated sugar. And then I'm using apple cider vinegar, and this is also a tablespoon and a half. But you can use any type of vinegar. I like to play around with it. I have a champagne vinegar that I use too. That's really good. I also made an infused, I forget what it was called. It was some berry I used. I made my own vinegar. So you can play around with it. I'm also adding a pinch of salt, about 1/8 of a teaspoon to 1/4, depending on your taste. I'll taste it after it's been marinating for an hour or so, and then add more salt if I need to. I'm also adding cracked black pepper. I'm using a smoked pepper in this recipe. I find it very flavorful, but again, you can use whatever kind of pepper you want. And I'm adding about 1/2 teaspoon in here. You can add more or less depending on what you like as well. And then mayonnaise, the most essential ingredient, but you can use a vegan mayo if you would like to use that. Or you can omit the mayo and just double up on the oil and the vinegar and make a simple vinaigrette that goes over it too. Completely up to you. That's why I like this recipe. You can just play around with the flavors. All right, and then all you do, give it a little shake. That's it. And then once you shake it, you can let it sit. You can also use, instead of vinegar, you can use lemon juice. I've done that too, just some sort of acid to balance out the sweetness and the creaminess of the mayonnaise in here. All right, and that's it. We're gonna let that kind of sit and meld there while we shred our Brussels sprouts. If you do not have this fancy food processor, it's okay. You can just shred them by using a knife and then just slicing them this way and shredding it that way. Nice thin slices for the Brussels sprouts, and that's totally acceptable as well. So don't feel like you have to have one of these. I just am speeding up the process. And it's gonna look like that, and they'll separate out into the ribbons. We also have about 6 ounces of shredded cabbage that I already have shredded here. You can buy pre-shredded in the grocery store as well. All right, so I'm gonna turn this on. Finally grate them here, and that's all that we're looking for when we're talking about that. And then I also have some carrots as well that I'm going to shred in here, and I'm going to add everything to the bowl. ice back on. And that is it. So carrots, I've peeled them, and now I'm just gonna cut off the tops. We don't need the tops. I give these to my puppy as treats. The little ends of these, he loves them. All right, and that's it. And now we're gonna grate these in here as well. Goodness in here though. I don't want anything to go to waste. More little niblets for my puppy. All right, take this off. And you're gonna see here how beautiful the carrots are, right? They're gorgeously shredded in there. I love the colors of this too. It's just something that's so pretty. And then you have your Brussels sprouts that are gorgeous as well. The green and the orange and the purple. It just makes me want to eat it. All right, and then we're gonna add in our cabbage a little bit at a time. Clearly I need a bigger bowl, shame on me. So let me grab another bowl. All right, here's a bigger bowl. All right. Add everything into this bowl. Okay, so everything's in the bowl, and now we're just going to add in our dressing. And again, the longer you let this sit, it doesn't look like a lot, but there's a lot of moisture in this, and you have to let it sit at least 2 hours before you want to eat this, because the longer it sits, the more flavor is going to come from all of the dressing marinating with all the vegetables in here as well. If you want it more creamy, you can double the dressing, but I'm one who likes the vegetables to still speak for themselves and not be drowning in some sort of vinaigrette. Okay, but again, if you want to double the dressing, the calories and everything obviously change, but totally up to you and your prerogative. All right, and then all you're gonna do is you're gonna toss this together, refrigerate it for at least 2 hours before you eat. And then the longer it sits, obviously, the more flavors that are gonna kind of marinate here. It's gonna sink down. All the veggies are gonna kind of absorb that dressing. And then you're good to go with any side dish. I'm gonna be serving this with some salmon cakes that I'm making, which I'm gonna record that recipe soon, so you can kind of see that as well. And this is it, guys. I can add some dried fruit to this, some nuts, play around with the veggies too. But other than that, simple coleslaw. How about that? Enjoy.